Hey everybody! Okay, this looks totally crazy. Just ignore the full face of makeup right now. I am going to be doing a first impression on the new Masquerade Mini by Juvia. It's this palette. Basically online you could buy the full size or the mini version. The full size is a lot bigger, however, it's like $5 more. So I myself picked up the mini because it was cheaper, but also the pans are still pretty big. So I thought, like, I'm probably never going to go through all of it, or if I do, I can just repurchase the mini. I mean, I think it's fine. Plus, I have so many palettes, I have to think about storage as well. So I picked up the mini, and I thought that was a really good price for all these eyeshadows. They're absolutely beautiful. So I figured I would do a first impression video with you guys to tell you how I like this palette or not. Now, something recently I've been doing is I have been drawing out eyeshadow looks. So they're not the best, okay, but I know what I mean when I do them. So things like this. And when I got this palette in the mail, I drew some looks that I thought would be really pretty to do. And I'm going to be doing this look right here, and I already have it drawn out. So I'm going to set this right here in front of me so I can take a look at it. So I'm going to walk you through this look, and we're going to test this palette out. I've only ever swatched it. I haven't actually tested out the products themselves, like the eyeshadows themselves yet. So this would be a real first impression. I'm just throwing on some eyelid primer, eyeshadow primer. This palette is so beautiful. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so we are going to first start with Zobo. Zobo is this beautiful purple shade, and it looks stunning. So we're going to take a blending brush. It looks sturdy, it's just stained, but it is clean. And I'm going to zoom you in actually real quick. I'm going to dip into Zobo right here. So I'm going to just start rocking this right in the crease.
Well, holy moly, that's pigmented.
So I am just rocking this in the crease to start with. This will eventually go down onto the lid, but just to begin, I just want to kind of blend this into the crease and get a good base. Now, I didn't set my primer. I've been doing that lately. I find that, I can't remember who exactly said that on YouTube. Somebody did say that, like, oh, try it without setting your primer. It's more pigmented, it lasts longer. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. And I agree. At least with the primer that I use the Lorac Behind the Scenes, I believe it's called. But I have a sample of it. I didn't buy the full thing. I got it like 2 years ago when I bought my gold unzipped palette, and I still have it. So that's my favorite eye primer that I actually own. Even though it is just a sample size, it lasts a really long time. So that is the one that I use. Now I'm going to clean my brush and just focus on blending these edges out. I'm not going to put anything on the brush here. I'm just going to focus on blending the edge out. Idea is that this is going to really diffuse the shade, so this isn't as pigmented as it will be. I'm going to pick up a flat brush like this, and I'm going to go back into that Zobo shade, go right back into it, tap it off just a little bit, and really build it up on the outer and inner lid. Yeah, you see how much more pigmented that is? Now it has some fallout. I think that's just because I built it up on the brush. I think that's my fault. So I'm leaving that pigmented. I'm just going to blend like it into the crease. And because it's the same shade, I think it'll blend fine. I'm going to keep this brush out, the blending brush, leave it out because we're probably going to be blending a lot. Okay, so the next step is actually going to be taking some concealer and carving out that little bit of like fleshed colored in the center. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape, so I'm just really going to dip into this. Let me grab my mirror just a little bit because I really want this center shade to pop, which is going to be a brighter pink shade, so I really want it to pop. Let me grab my mirror. And I'm just going to carve out just this little middle fleshy part. And you know, I think the cool thing too with using concealer is that, which I'm just now learning, I was always too scared to use concealer on my eyeshadow in fear of like messing up. But I think the cool thing is if you do mess up, you can very easily take like the purple shade again, tap it, and just kind of like blend the edges out and rebuild the pigment just a little bit, you know? Like, I think that's actually really cool that it's so simple to just fix it up a little bit. I think it looks pretty cool so far. Next, I'm going to use the flat brush again, and I'm going to dip into Bori, which is this bright pink shade. So, ooh, it's bright. Okay, perfect. And we're gonna go back to the concealer in just a moment, but first we're just gonna pack this right on top of the concealer we just placed. I am getting a little bit of fallout when I pack on the shades, but I don't really mind. I mean, it's easy just to take some powder and brush it off. Just make sure to set your under eyes before you do it. Next, I'm going to take some more concealer, just a teeny little bit, and I'm just popping it right in the middle of the pink. I'm going to take flat brush and I'm going to dip into Giza, which is this beautiful highlight shade. And we are just going to pack this right in that middle part. Whoa. And then I'm going to take my little blending brush, clean it so it's nothing on it. And I'm just going to blend the edge. Now I'm going to take this kind of a brush. It's like flat, but it's taper, but it kind of billows out a little bit at the end. And I'm going to take Cairo. This orange. This whole palette is so pigmented, it's beautiful. Okay. And I'm going to rock this down on the lower lash line. Tiny pencil brush. And I'm going to go in closer to my lash line. I'm not putting it in my lash line, but I'm putting it like on my lash line. Or not in my waterline, but I'm putting it on my lash line. I'm going to bring it out a little bit to blend into this pink at that corner. I'm going to just blend it out a little bit with a flat brush so that it doesn't go down, but it still kind of gets like smoked out a little bit. By the way, I will say, like I just cleaned this and it's totally stained pink. When I swatched these, you can see I still have pink stains on my hand. Like, these stain, which might be the only negative thing about this palette, me personally, I don't care. I don't care that it stains. If you do though, this definitely would not be for you. Okay, so I'm going to put some liner in my waterline. This is a Sephora waterproof eyeliner in the shade Love Affair. It's a teeny baby sample. And the shade is like this purple mauve. This is a really fun look. I actually really enjoy this look right now. I'm going to use the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt Waterproof by Loreal. I'm just going to do some Clinique mascara, Lash Power Flutter-to-Full mascara, extra, just a little bit extra. And I'm going to do it on my bottom lashes as well. Let me just throw lipstick on and I can come finish this video. Okay everybody, this is the finished look. I really love it. I think it turned out really pretty and cool. Obviously it's just a nice warm toned look. A little bit bright, a little nice, little bit of pop. I feel like Juvia eyeshadows, with my experience with them, are so smooth, so buttery, so creamy, and so pigmented. In the past, I haven't had much fallout at all with the Juvia palettes. I think the last two that I had, that I did first impressions on, I don't think I actually posted my second first impression by this point. However, with that said, both of those two palettes I didn't have any fallout with at all. Not even in the pan. Shut up. Not in the pan. Anything like that. This one I had a little bit of fallout with, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all. eyeshadows have fallout at some point depending on how you apply them. This one doesn't have any fallout in the pans. They're not powdery. Something about Juvia's formula is so creamy. But you have these amazing shades that I really want to play with. I'm going to just show you them. Look at these. I want to play with these so badly. They are absolutely gorgeous. I also really want to play around with, I'll show you the shades I'm like super excited to play with. I'm really excited to play around with as well. This would make a really pretty look actually. Anyway, the point is, this whole palette, there's so much you could do. You could do bright, neutral, whatever. And I just think that this is so much fun, like, to sit and like look at and play in these looks. I think this one turned out really nice actually. I really like this. Yeah, so I would say the only negative factor in it is that these ones had a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. I was packing them on with a lot of product on the brush, which is to be expected. Fallout is okay. But as you can see, they blended out beautifully, super pigmented, and just really pretty. So I am in love with this. I think this is awesome. Let me know if you would like some more looks in the future from this palette because there are so many that I can come up with. I already have 2 more waiting to be done. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.